Tonight on the Night Team. A Germantown record store that has withstood the test of time will now be closing its doors. We're hearing from the owner on what's next for his legacy.
It was about changing people's perceptions.
Plus, it's now been 19 years since LMPD lost Officer Peter Grignon in the line of duty.
Peter can't be here physically, but I know that he is looking down from heaven, and I know he is so proud.
How his friends, family, and LMPD continue to carry on his legacy of empathy and compassion. And later, a legacy that has yet to be made.
Honestly, excited to be a part of history. I love the culture of Derby.
Now just 42 days away from the 150th Kentucky Derby. But today, hundreds of people lined up to put their name in the hat to work the historic Derby week. The WHAS11 Night Team starts right now. After 28 years in business, a longtime independent record store in Germantown will be closing its doors. The owner of Underground Sounds made the announcement earlier this week. It's our top story here at 11. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Alex Dieterer. As the shop prepares for its farewell, WHAS 11's Connor Steffen and photojournalist Aspen Hester report on what's coming next.
Step inside this shop at 1006 Barrett Avenue.
This store is about turning people on to music.
And you'll hear the fleeting sound of music. In 2 months' time, Underground Sounds will bid this corner farewell.
What music would describe the closing? My natural inclination would be some slow Bill Evans, melancholy.
For owner Craig Rich, it's bittersweet. He says his new landlords informed him they won't be renewing his lease.
Well, Underground Sounds was originally a mail order company I had when I was a teenager.
For 28 years, Rich's business has withstood changing technologies and trends.
I've had a unique perspective over 28 years, so it's come full circle.
Rich says his record store will be closing by May 1st of this year. While it faces an uncertain future, he says it won't be the last of Underground Sounds.
I'm going to have to find another location. I'd like to keep the store in the Highlands area, Germantown, Crescent Hill. That's where it started, and I think that's where it should remain.
Longtime customer Brian Leonard, who is now 35, has been coming to the record shop since he was 17.
It was the first place I felt comfortable, I guess, in the city. Being an awkward little kid, they're always kind of looking after you. Making sure that, dumb kids from the country won't get into too much trouble.
He underscores the importance of Underground Sounds in the community.
It's a safe spot for the community, You come here, you know that, you're not going to be hassled, look around for music for hours, no one's going to bother you. You can have a conversation with somebody for hours, Everything's going to turn out okay.
Rich says there are plans by his current landlord to turn his space into a new bar. In Louisville, Connor Steffen, the WHAS 11 Night Team, on your side.
WHAS 11 News has reached out to the record store's landlord. It's a company called Almost a Diamond LLC. And at the time of this newscast, we have yet to hear back from them. A new bill headed to the governor's desk is looking to protect IVF services in Kentucky. The bill is designed to protect doctors and other health providers from criminal liability for any harm or damages that allegedly happened from an act or omission relating to the provision of health services. That legal protection does not apply in cases of gross negligence or in cases of malice and intentional misconduct. Republican lawmakers say the bill was written broad enough to protect IVF services from the state's strict abortion law. The bill won unanimous approval in both the House and the Senate. As the Kentucky House and Senate come together to hammer out differences in their budget proposals, one Senate proposal is looking to set conditions before funding the state's medical cannabis office. Language in the main budget bill from the Kentucky Senate says that no money from the Office of Medical Cannabis would become available without peer-reviewed research. It says the research must show that medical cannabis effectively reduces symptoms of diseases and condition.
We're not stripping the funding. We're waiting on data that tells us that this is effective. And so we're just putting a quick pause on that to make sure that we have the appropriate information. Opponents say there is a propensity of evidence and this really won't be a problem. If there's lack of evidence, then there could be a problem.
Republican Representative Jason Nemes, a leading supporter of legalizing medical cannabis in Kentucky, says he intends to keep the Senate language out of the final version of the spending plan. The search for survivors following a deadly attack Friday. More than 130 people confirmed dead and more than 100 injured while attending a concert. Russian police now claiming 4 people have been arrested. The terrorist group ISIS is claiming responsibility for this, but some inside the Kremlin are placing blame on Ukraine. ABC's Johnny Fernandez has more.
Russian President Vladimir Putin vowing retribution following a deadly attack at a concert in Moscow. Speaking publicly for the first time Saturday, Putin calling it a bloody, barbaric act of terror. The gunfire erupting at the Crocus City Concert Hall as fans were waiting for a Russian rock band to perform. Hundreds could be seen sheltering behind seats and running for the exits as armed gunmen with assault rifles shot into the crowd. The building then engulfed by fire. Everyone just panicked and ran. This witness says not everyone could escape. Authorities calling it the city's deadliest terror attack in 2 decades. The Islamic terror group ISIS claiming responsibility, releasing a photo of the alleged attackers. Russian authorities have not confirmed those ties, but claim they had contacts in Ukraine. Ukrainian officials deny involvement. Russian authorities say all 4 of the suspected attackers were taken into custody near the Ukrainian border. 7 other suspected accomplices were also taken into custody. Officials say they were planning to cross into Ukraine. In St. Petersburg, a memorial in honor of the victims. Residents there bringing toys and flowers, expressing sadness. Johnny Fernandez, ABC News, New York.
We have new developments to a story that we've been following all week long. The council in Washington County, Indiana, has approved raises for deputies. This comes, of course, after the sheriff's announcement last week that he would suspend overnight services for the county due to staffing issues. In a meeting Friday, the county approved raising all armed sheriff deputy salaries by $8,000. So that brings their salaries to nearly $53,000 a year. The sheriff ended overnight services because he said it wasn't sustainable, saying they were down to 6 deputies with some officers working 7 to 8 days in a row or 16-hour shifts.
The people did back us and support us on this. We got an overpouring amount of support from the public.
I mean, you want to get all you can get. I think it's good that they take the initiative to raise up the money.
Until a new deputy is hired, Indiana State Police will be sending an extra deputy to help cover the overnight shift. The sheriff is hoping to take it back over soon with a new hire or having a former deputy come back. It has now been 19 years since LMPD officer Peter Grignon died while serving in the line of duty. He was shot back in March of 2005 and while responding to a hit-and-run crash where a vehicle was on fire. Today, family members, close friends, and members of the police department gathered to remember his sacrifice. Friends say Officer Grignon was a man full of compassion and empathy, and now his legacy is carried on through the service of all of LMPD.
You guys get up every day and you put on a uniform and you go out ready to make the ultimate sacrifice for our community. And I am so proud of you. I am so grateful that heroes like you exist, that people are willing to serve people they've never met.
Grignon was the first Metro officer to die in the line of duty after the merger of Louisville with Jefferson County. We are just now 42 days away from the Kentucky Derby 150, and we here at WHAS11 are not the only ones ready to hit the ground running. Churchill Downs today held its annual job fair to make sure that they're ready for the momentous week. Photojournalist Addie Hill spoke with some attendees who tell us they're excited to be part of history.
So this is very exciting that people want to come be a part of history, be a part of our anniversary celebration for Derby 150. It's just truly remarkable with the lines forming out to try to sign up for a job here in the upcoming weeks.
Honestly, excited to be a part of history. I love the culture of Derby, and I'm looking to make this as fun and easy as possible. Plus, I'm kind of in it to see all the crazy hats, I'm not going to lie.
Between Churchill Downs seasonal employment, as well as our partners with Levy's for food and beverage, Pritchard in housekeeping, and then our internal departments with guest services, security, mutuals, and for ticket operations.
I've been cooking professionally 30 years now, so I really enjoy the meeting the people, meet and greet people from all over the world at Churchill Downs, because this is where the roots is for cooking for me. This is where I started at. When I came here, I didn't know too much of nothing besides just normal, everyday home cooking.
The process is very simple. You show up, you give your personal information, your name and your date of birth, what interests you have, so you don't have to go to the housekeeping line, you don't have to go to the guest services line. You can apply for multiple positions, and many of us will be hiring on the spot today for seasonal employment in the next few weeks.
Some of my friends and family aren't from Kentucky, so being able to see it Derby through new eyes is going to be fun.
This is our time. It's Derby season, it's Derby fever, and based on the crowd today, I think it's going to be the biggest and the best Kentucky Derby ever.
And the countdown continues for the historic week ahead. Opening night kicks off the week of events, and that's scheduled for Saturday, April 27th.